Thanksgiving's passed. Halloween's passed. A lot of your competitors are starting to slow down. In fact, they're getting better at slowing down right now. They're competing on who can slow down first. That's what's going on. And you know what's heartening to me? This is terrific. We have a full house in here today. And this is great. A lot of people are here on Monday morning prior to, right after Thanksgiving. That's huge. So I wanted to write something special. I wanted to focus on this. And I actually started this on Thursday after our Thanksgiving dinner. So hopefully it'll be the little kick in the tush that maybe you need right now. A quote that I read years ago that had a huge amount of impact on me goes like this. Your present circumstances do not determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. Your present circumstances, where you are right now, old, young, big, small, male, female, can speak, can't speak, know the language, don't know the language, know the scripts, don't know the scripts. Where you are right now does not determine where you can go in this life. It only determines where you start. And I wrote, we all start in different places, and we're all given different genetic gifts. However, these things, write this down, have very, very little to do with where you end up. You're given gifts, you have talents, but they're very little to do with where you end up in life. It's common for people that don't start with the same opportunities or genetic gifts as others to surpass them that had distinctive advantages. We know people that didn't go to college that are doing fabulous. We know people that competed in the Olympics this year that ended up losing 2 legs below the knees. We have people that have amazing things that we would think by certain standards would be going against us, yet these people excel. Doesn't matter where you are. It matters with what you do with it. I wrote down here, the world is full of opportunities. Your limits are only your opinion. Write that down. Whatever limits you think you have. I'm a man, I'm a woman. I had a college education, I didn't. I grew up in the barrio, I grew up rich. I grew up poor, I grew up different. My parents put cigarettes out on me, my parents were nice to me. Okay? My parents didn't understand me. My family puts me down. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do with what you have right now. There is nothing more common than extremely talented, highly educated, very intelligent people who are living in the bottom layers of the social economic structure in our world. You know who I'm talking about. You know there are people in your lives who are smart. They're educated. They came from great backgrounds, yet they can't seem to get it going. My biggest frustration, my single biggest frustration, and the frustration that I work with you individually, I work with our coaches to work with you as a group and as individuals, is to help you see the potential that lies within each and every one of you. You see, you think we're coming to the end of the year. I see we have another month. A whole month. Actually, a month and a week. A month and a week to do whatever we want to do if we choose to do it. That's the groundwork I'm trying to lay here. I wrote down here, without action, there is no hope of reaching your goals. Without action, there is no hope of reaching your goals. The really good news is, think about this, is that inspiration to action can be developed. No one has to live a life less than they desire. Now, remember what I say. You are where you are because it's okay with you. Because if it isn't okay with you, you would change. What are you doing about that? Because it says here, no one has to live a life that's less than they desire. So if you want more, more anything, all you have to do is take action and go after it. That's all we have to do. I wrote down here, take action, get up and get going. And almost every biography or autobiography is a story of how an average person overcame incredible obstacles and adversity before they enjoyed success. In almost every single story you read. Very few people started here. Most people started here. Against all odds, they did this. Pretty amazing. Pretty fantastic. I wrote down here, the same is true in real estate. Heartbreaking obstacles are an important part of triumph. Yeah, it's a bitch when the deal falls apart. It's a problem when you go after a listing appointment and you don't get it. It hurts. I get that. It's upsetting when you've been working with a client and they choose somebody else. That can drive you nuts. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's a song, right? One of my favorite songs. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I wrote down here, those who understand and persist past those obstacles learn to win, while those who give up learn to lose. You are either learning to win or you're learning to lose. Not much in between of that, are there? You're learning to win or you're learning to lose. Since winning is a habit, just as losing is a habit, it becomes a matter of which habit do you work on developing? The losing habit or the winning habit? It's all about taking action. To obtain what you've never had, you must do what you've never done. Now, I'm going to put that in the context of the next 5 weeks. To do what you've never had, you must do what you've never done. I wrote down here, it's like starting a bike from a dead start. It takes a ton of energy to get started, especially when you're on a little bit of an incline. A ton of energy. I rode some last weekend, these beach cruisers. They have no gears, right? Big handlebars, kind of cruising around. You know, at the beach, it's pretty flat. Of course, except for the street I went up. So in Corona del Mar, there's a bunch of pretty major hills. So the bike doesn't gear down or gear up or whatever you call that. It just goes in one gear. And I'm telling you, it's a bear starting to go up there. But then when you get that done and you start to get a little bit of momentum, it becomes what? A little easier. And you get going a little bit more and it's a little easier. What happens when you come to a stop sign and you have to stop? You stop, right? But then you got to do what? It's hard to start. So what you want to do in this business is you don't want to stop. The pull on you to slow down and stop right now is enormous. It's enormous. The holidays, the family, the cooking, the shopping. I've got to take care of this. I got to go get a Cabbage Patch doll for my daughter. I got to go stand in that line. By the way, did any of you stand in the line for the flats, the $40 flat screen? Anybody? Good. No, good. Okay, good. Good. Because there weren't any $40 flat screens out there. As you continue doing new actions, the changes you've made in the past few weeks, more consistent prospecting, practicing your scripts and dialogues, contacting your sphere of influence, is creating a little bit of that momentum. You started that momentum. At some level, each of you, at some level, some a little more, some a little less. Don't stop. Don't stop. I wrote down here, on many days we feel drained. We need to remember, with all of our work, we are building momentum. The work will get easier. Those of you that started learning the scripts 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, when you started learning them, they were tough. They were difficult. They weren't you. Then after a week or 2 or 3, they started getting a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed. Same thing happens in this business over and over and over again. I wrote down here, this is a critical moment, these next 5 weeks. Critical in what's going to happen in 2013 and how 2012 is going to end. I still believe you can take great listings before the end of the year. And I still believe that some of those listings can and will sell and close escrow. A deal that you list today, tomorrow, this week, can and will close escrow before the end of the year. But what's the worst case scenario? If you took 6 or 8 listings now, over the next few weeks, and they sold and they didn't close until the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd week of January, would that still be okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. Not as much fun. And of course, you'd be proving me wrong. Wouldn't that be nice? Because I said you could close it this year, and you came to me and said, see, I took the damn listing. I sold it. The lender did what the lender's supposed to do. And the buyer said, nope, we don't want to close until the 1st week of January. See, Neil, you're wrong. It didn't close till January. Oh, shoot. Guess we should try that again. Come on, you guys. I wrote down here, don't give up. Don't quit. Quitting is not an option. It's never an option. But right now, we're talking oxygen. We're talking oxygen. I promise you, the more action you take, the more momentum you pick up. As you build the momentum, you will be harder to stop. You will be much harder to stop, meaning you'll become more persistent. And when you're more persistent, persistence will carry you to the success that you're looking for. The question is, I'm asking you to go to class next week. I'm asking you to learn. I'm asking you to sharpen the axe, to be able to focus so that you can come out the 1st of December stronger, more focused, more committed than maybe ever before for this year, which will give you the opportunity for a great finish and a fabulous start. So I wrote down a few things of what you can do to get the most out of this class in the next week. Write these down. Number 1, tonight, go to bed early. Go to bed early. Number 2, these are really important stuff, and they're the highest. These are real technical, so get them right. Okay? Number 2, get up early and get to class early. Get up early and get to class early. I don't know what the driving patterns are going from here to Yorba Linda Boulevard. Okay? I don't know what they are. My guess is they're probably bad. Okay? Get up a little bit earlier. Just get up a little bit earlier, show up there a little bit earlier. My guess is also somewhere around the Nixon Library, there's going to be a Starbucks. Okay? Stop there. Or 10, yeah. Stop. Get a water, grab yourself a coffee, relax for a few minutes. Think. You know what? It's okay to be a little early. It's okay to think about what the day is going to look like. I wrote down here, don't sit with your buddy. Find new buddies. Okay? Don't let me find you sitting 18 of you in a row. Okay? That's what's going to happen. You know I'm going to walk in. And I'm going to look over there to the left or to the right. You'll be toward the front, because that's what you do. But there'll be 3 or 4 rows of all master's agents right there. None over there. But we're all here. Don't do that to yourself. Spread out. Find a friend. Okay? Find a friend. It's holiday time. Meet people. I wrote down here, leave your cell phone in the car. Leave your cell phone in the car. Focus. Focus on this week. I wrote down here, be in the moment. Don't worry about the escrow that's closing or not closing. Do everything you can today to put it on track, and then just forget about it. There are breaks, and there is lunch, and it's over by 4 in the afternoon. Do whatever you need to do. I wrote this down. Be there from the start. Be there from the beginning tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I guess 8 o'clock is registration. To the end, till Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Try that once. Try that one time. See how that fits. I wrote down here, take all the notes and then rewrite them every evening. Take all the notes, sit through the class, take the notes, write them, and then rewrite them in the evening. I wrote down here, ask questions. You have an opportunity. First of all, Mike doesn't tend to spit as much anymore. He's older. It's just not as cool. He doesn't tend to pick on people quite as much, although his patience, he's really trying to give you the good stuff. And sometimes when you don't get it, you want to fight with him. His patience are a little bit lower. He's not quite as versatile and patient as he would like to be. But go there with an open mind and ask questions. Really. Ask him some questions. Gosh, if I had an opportunity to sit with maybe one of the great world leaders or one of the great coaches, it would be fantastic. Give me some information. Give me some of your wisdom. Give me some of those thoughts. See, we suffer from, if we don't know it, it probably isn't a good idea. Or if we haven't thought of it, it probably isn't a good idea. Let me tell you something. We stand on the shoulders of those that went before us. We stand on the shoulders of those that went before us. Mike has gone before us. He's done this. He's done it. He's changed it. He's fixed it. He's screwed it up. He's recorrected it. He's come back to it. And his mission for the last 40 years is to meet great agents, bring that information back, and share it with other great agents. Some use it, some don't. That's been his mission for 40 years. It's worked pretty good. The people that buy it have done phenomenally well. Phenomenally well. And those that don't are still bitching and screaming what a bum he is. Okay? As they drive their, well, whatever. I wrote down here, take your hot lead list and your past client and sphere list and call them. Now, call them on the way, a couple calls on the way, a couple calls on the way home. But be in touch. Now, the hot list, you only have 4 or 5 really hot leads on it anyway. Call them. Be in touch. Set an appointment for the evening. Set an appointment for Saturday or Sunday. It's okay to do that. take that lead list with you and talk to people. I wrote down here, this week matters. Usually I write down today matters. Today, this week matters. There's 168 hours this week. Write that down. 168. This week can help change the end of 2012 for you. You can use this week as a springboard for training and information and polishing yourselves up. You get Mike almost one-on-one. There's 600-700 people in the room. 120 of them are from our company. Go chat with the man. Go have a conversation with him. Ask him to help you. Please don't tell him your story. Okay? He doesn't need your story. He needs a question. Okay? How can you help me? What advice can you give me? What do you suggest that I do? What are the top 2 or 3 things that you think are good for me? Because remember, he's talking to 700 people. Maybe the advice he gives you might be slightly different. Because you're unique and you're an individual and your needs might be slightly different. I want to reaffirm that you're at the feet of a master. And as we get older, our masters move on. Take these opportunities. You know, John Wooden lived into his 90s. And from 80 to 90, every chance I got, I went to a John Wooden event. Every single chance. Just to hear what he had to say. The Wizard of Westwood. Amazing individual. Amazing guy, not just as a sports figure, as a coach, as a molder of men, but a guy that had some great values in life, tremendous values in life and children and family. So whether you relate to the John Woodens or the Don Shulas or the Vince Lombardis or the Phil Jacksons, Mike Ferry is that of real estate. Take this opportunity. Learn. Focus. Polish your skills this week so that you can come out next Friday afternoon on fire, focused, ready to take on the month of December to close out 2012 even stronger than you had planned and imagined. So that therefore you can set up 2013 to be the absolute year, the biggest year of your entire career. Now let's go out and make this a great week. Thank you.